Well, in other news making headlines tonight, let's revisit the story about the multi-sectoral dialogue committee of 150 members that is to be set up for national talks on various issues starting next week. This committee will comprise of 50 representatives of the youth, while religious groups, civil society and political parties will share the remaining number. While announcing the plan after a meeting with opposition leaders, President William Ruto noted that matters of national interest will be given priority. Even as Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka said, the state's inaction to issues raised in the NADCO report led to the current situation. As Alan Ochanda reports, NARC Kenya leader Martha Karua, Jubilee Secretary General Jeremiah Kioni, and DAP Kenya leader Eugene Wamalwa have poured cold water on today's meeting, terming it as a trap.
Akin to the handshake when retired President Uhuru Kenyatta turned to the opposition to cool down political temperatures, his successor, President William Ruto, could be walking in his steps.
Karibuni, hapa chini.
Bowing to the pressure mounted by the Gen Zs, the head of state convened a meeting at the Kenyatta International Conference Center, bringing together top government officials and opposition leaders, and gave the country the roadmap towards a national dialogue slated for next week, ostensibly to quell the turmoil witnessed in the last 3 weeks.
We have subsequently had consultations, and we have agreed that to bring the country together for the purposes of working on the issues that are of priority to the people of Kenya.
We have agreed that a dialogue is the way forward out of the crisis that we're having today in our country. We've agreed that we give people an opportunity to be heard, to express themselves, to come out with the grievances which are actually ailing our country today, so that a lasting solution can be found.
The undying Gen Z protests saw the head of public service, Felix Koskei, announce the formation of a 100-member national dialogue committee with 2 representatives of the youth. Cornered, the president, in consultation with the opposition, has opted for a broader and more inclusive multi-sectoral committee with more youth representation.
We will move ahead with the multi-sectoral forum. And we have agreed that a membership of 150 representatives of various stakeholders, 50 of whom shall be young people of Kenya, the other 100 will be representatives of all the other sectors, the religious community, civil society, professional groups, political parties.
Youth actually the majority in our society today, and we want them to be properly heard. And then the several issues, some of them which have been mentioned already, the issue of unemployment, the issues of corruption, the issues of ethnicity, debt in our country and debt servicing, and generally management of the economy are issues that we need to talk about.
Last year, the country witnessed Azimio-led demonstrations that led to the formation of the NADCO committee, comprising of members from both Kenya Kwanza and Azimio. Although they agreed on several issues, the cost of living agenda almost scuttled the process, as Kenya Kwanza insisted it was the government's role to address it. Even as the meeting was going on, other Azimio leaders led by former Odinga presidential running mate Martha Karua were pouring cold water on it, terming it as a trap and seeking to benefit the political elite. On her X-handle, the NARC Kenya party leader said, quote, "Dialogue can only be meaningful if the players have good faith and are guided by the best interest of the people. This is a trap, period." End of quote. On his part, the Secretary General of the Jubilee Party, Jeremiah Kioni, said, quote, "Fellow Kenyans, if you are wondering what just happened at KICC, it's all by design." The guardians of the Kenyan state wield their power relentlessly to ensure its survival against any violent threat that could undermine its very foundation. End of quote. DAPK boss Eugene Wamalwa simply posted, "I am not boarding." Unlike the past, where the government will facilitate participants in such national exercises, they will have to shoulder their own costs. Alan Ochanda, KTN News.
The government is rolling out a plan to expose middle-level college students